Hello, everyone. My name is Ellen Parker, and I write romance. Now, before you just discount this and say, oh, that's just trashy romance novels, and all it is bodice rippers and that type of stuff, let me tell you a little bit about romance. The modern romance genre, it attacks a lot, it brings light to some issues. It gives light to contemporary life. And even if you read a historical romance, sometimes it has something in there that is applicable to today. So don't just discount it. And let me remind you a little bit about what the definition of a romance is when you go to the bookstore and you end up in the romance section, whether you plan to or not. These are books that have a central love story, and they have a happy ever after or a happy for now ending. I was really impressed a few years ago. I was driving somewhere, can't remember where, but I had NPR on, and they were just discussing books, and one of the announcers made what I thought was a very complimentary statement about romance, in that he said it's an optimistic genre. And think about it, we could use a little optimism in our life in these days. Now my most recent book is Comfort Zone. I don't know if that's going to come out backwards, so you have to imagine the writing or not. Comfort Zone is a sweet romance, contemporary romance. So that tells you that it's set in the present day. It happens to be set in St. Louis, which is where I live and where this recording is being made. Sweet tells the potential reader that they're not going to be reading a lot of sex scenes. If sex takes place at all, it's going to be behind a firmly closed door. Another thing about Comfort Zone, which is probably makes it just a little bit different, with the main characters, the hero and heroine, are a little bit older than in many romance novels. These people, they've raised families, they're in their early 50s, and I'm going to read you the blurb which you would find on the back cover, just to tell you a little bit about the story. HVAC tech Janet Swingle has too much on her plate to clutter her life up with a man. Her daughter is engaged, and with a mortgage due each month, she has to maintain her job status quo. Police Detective Rich Taylor lost his wife 2 years ago. His friends are urging him to date, but he's not interested. Well, not until he meets the intriguing woman who fixes his AC. Just when he thinks anything is possible, life throws him and Janet a curveball, and a dead body could keep them from having a future together. So this is the back cover copy, the back cover blurb should tell you a little about the story, and enough, hopefully, in the case of my books, hopefully it tells you enough that you want more, that you want to start reading it. This is Comfort Zone. It's one of 2 titles I have published by a small press called the Wild Rose Press. They're very, very good, I think, in getting edits, and I like my cover. My cover tells you it's a contemporary and it's a romance. This makes it attractive to people that are looking for a contemporary romance. You're not going to look at that and say, oh, it's set in 1822, my favorite time. No, this is set in 2000 and something. So I'm very pleased with what the Wild Rose Press has done for this book. I would urge you to consider it. It's available at all the major online retailers. by which I mean Amazon. Everything's available on Amazon, but that my books are also available at Barnes and Noble, on Kobo and Apple Books, and probably some places that I'm not familiar with, because one of the advantages of going with a press, even a small press, is they can get it up on platforms across the computer world, places I've never heard of. It's available for libraries. It's available as an ebook. It's available in print. Obviously, I have a print copy of it. And if you happen to come around to some of the craft shows in the spring, I hope to be at a couple where I will give you an autograph for free. I thank you for listening to this. The title is Comfort Zone. If you've never read a romance, or if you don't think you've read a romance, I would encourage you to do so. Thank you very much.